WandaVision is over. If you're like me, you're sad and heartbroken that you won't get to see any more of this amazing show week after week. But coming hot off the heels of WandaVision is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a more traditional Marvel affair, but does it stack up to what we've seen in the past? Let's talk. Let's start with a bit of a synopsis with where we are going into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It takes place 3 months after Avengers Endgame, where we last saw old Cap, Steve Rogers, give Sam Wilson the shield so that he can carry on the mantle of Captain America. Bucky Barnes is back and fully recovered from his Nazi brainwashing, but dealing with the PTSD of everything that he did while he was the Winter Soldier, and people are dealing with the ramifications of the blip. You remember that thing where people got dusted in Infinity War? That's still happening. People are still dealing with that, and that's where this show starts, and it's really interesting to see how they are carrying over everything from the past, moving into this new series. And so far, it doesn't seem like the events of WandaVision are connected to what we're seeing so far, but I have a feeling that it's going to connect at some point heading towards the end of the series. But after jumping into the first episode of the series, it seems like Disney is doing a more traditional action show that follows our two troubled heroes. Now, I watched it twice, and on my first watch through, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, but after watching it again, I enjoyed it a lot more. I think my expectations going into it were a lot higher than they should have been, but coming off of WandaVision, I think I was thinking about how intense that show ended, and it was really unrealistic to think about everything that was happening inside of there, transferring over to what we're seeing in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, it just started. And one note I really want to make about the show is how great it looks on a visual level. I love the movie-like quality we're getting with these Disney Plus shows. From The Mandalorian to WandaVision and now Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you can see they're not cutting any corners in production. But let's jump into the story. Unlike Spider-Man's depiction of the blip, where it was more comedic and lighthearted, Falcon and the Winter Soldier shows it in a more serious light. Similar to what we seen in WandaVision, where we had to watch her deal with the death of her loved one and the effects that it had on her mental stability. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you see how large the ramifications of the blip were on a larger, grander scale, and how it has affected the people in the world. Now, for those who haven't seen the show yet, I am going to discuss a lot of what happened in the show, and I just want to give you a spoiler alert, so ring 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 ring, these are the alarms going on. If you don't want to know anything about the show, fast forward to the end, and then you can get my ending thoughts about it. But here's your warning. If you continue, it's your fault. I told you. So, during the course of the show, we see Sam's sister dealing with some serious financial problems that puts her business in jeopardy. Sam Wilson is dealing with the fact that he doesn't feel like he should carry on the mantle of Captain America because he doesn't feel worthy. There are now terrorist organizations who thought the world was better during the blip, causing a lot of havoc. Bucky is trying to right the wrongs he committed as the Winter Soldier, and the government wants a new American symbol to carry on the mantle of Captain America. And that's just the beginning. And there's a whole lot of setup going on in this episode that I feel is going to pay off greatly by the time we get to the end of the series. So the show opens up with Falcon doing hero things solo, and it was really cool to see him take on all the bad guys in a flashy way as the hero lead for once, because normally he's the sidekick that just assists all the other main characters in the Avengers movies. But it was hard to see a hero who assisted in saving the world deal with real life issues like receiving a loan from the bank to help his sister. It was sad and a bit of an insight into those gray areas that aren't really depicted in superhero shows. Other than that opening action sequence, my favorite scenes were the ones with Bucky. It starts off with a flashback of him taking down enemies as the Winter Soldier in his badass Winter Soldier way, but quickly transitions to him during a therapy session with his psychiatrist. This scene was really cool because it went into the trauma that was brought on by his time as the Winter Soldier and what he's doing to right those wrongs. I won't jump into everything to spoil it for you, but he is doing his best to take down the people that he helped during this time as the Winter Soldier. We get to see more of his personal life and how he interacts with people as he's dealing with the recovery of the PTSD his past actions have caused him. So we all know that Disney's going to introduce mutants to the Marvel Universe at some point, but nobody really knows how that's going to happen. Fast forward to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we see the introduction of a villain who seems to have superpowers. He jumped from a 3-story building and he has super strength, enough to kick a guy a few feet away. We know that enhanced beings were mentioned way back in Age of Ultron, so I have a feeling that those enhanced beings may be found to have the Mutant X gene, just maybe? Who knows? They could be introducing that in a really cool way, and I'm excited to see how they bring that about. But thinking about that, you know how Monica Rambeau from WandaVision got her powers by walking back and forth through the Hex? I'm wondering if the Hex has affected anybody else in that town that Wanda took control of. We know that Monica went through a few times before it was triggered, but in my head it's like, did she have those abilities already and walking through the Hex made them activate? Or did walking through the Hex cause it and all those people who were in the city, maybe they were mutated too? I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all pans out, and I'm really excited to see the mutants come in, and these shows are probably going to be an awesome insight into everything that's going on and the grander scheme of the Marvel Universe as a whole. And the last big piece of the show was the introduction of the new Captain America. If you follow the comics, you know that this guy is a super soldier, a person who took a similar experimental drug as Captain America, but you will find that he is a lot more aggressive than Captain America, and his methods aren't always accepted by all the heroes that he works with. It's going to be interesting to see how his character development goes and how it affects the show moving forward. Overall, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is an awesome addition to the Marvel Universe. It's great to see Disney fixing past mistakes from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all the Netflix shows by connecting everything more tightly to one cohesive universe. While this may not have been the jaw dropper that I was expecting, it's just the first episode, and just like WandaVision, I expect it to ramp up with each passing week. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought about the show in the comments below. What did you think about WandaVision? What do you think about Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Where do you think all of this is going? All of these are questions that I would love to know your answers to, but that's it for me today. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button to catch more new content as it comes out. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace to the O-U-T. I don't know if I did that right. Later.